Sports for Real with Coach Hall. The Tampa Rays are in Toronto tonight to go for win number 14. They started the season 13-0, and a victory tonight will give them the fastest start ever for a Major League Baseball team. Will they get it? Well, that remains to be seen. But I've seen this thing before. Way back in '82, I saw the Braves jump out to a 13-0 record. You know, those guys like Chris Chambliss and Bob Horner, Dale Murphy, that was a pretty good team. They started out 13-0, then they started losing. They lost like 5 or 6 in a row after that. And I believe they made the playoffs, but they never did make the World Series. I saw it again in '87 with Milwaukee. Same kind of thing that the Braves did. They won 13 straight, but after that they kind of faltered down the stretch, and they didn't do very much. But the one team that I did see concerning 13 was the Detroit Tigers back in 1984. You know, that team with Jack Morris pitching and Chet Lemon in the outfield. Real good baseball team. They started the season 13-5, and people were making a big deal about that. But as you followed that team, they seemed to get stronger. Sparky Anderson kept that team going, and I remember at one point they were 35-5, and at that point, that was a pretty good baseball team. And as you know, they went on to win the World Series. So yes, it's great to start out undefeated, but if you don't win the race, you're just like anybody else. It's not really a big deal. It's just like somebody running a marathon and you run a mile and you got a 10-yard lead on somebody, and everybody says, look how great he is. Well, maybe he is, but let's check him out in about 10 miles, see what he's doing. Well, again, that number 13 is considered a bad luck number, so if the Rays can get beyond that and set a new mark at 14, that would be great. But speaking of the 13 and bad luck, let's slap that on ESPN commentator, analyst Malika Andrews. She has a reputation for going after certain people, but on the flip side of that, she doesn't go after certain other kind of people. And because of that, her journalism is unbalanced. And if you have unbalance in your journalism, then you don't have a whole lot of credibility. Now, here's a person that splashed on the scene and made a rise pretty quick. Not to saying that she's not a good journalist. I have no negatives really to say about her reporting skills, but it's when you go after people on a personal level, and especially the ones that look like you, it makes me think that you got some kind of hidden agenda. Normally when you see things like this, somebody is behind you telling you to do certain things and to go after certain people. And if you don't, your career is in their hands. I'm not certain if that's the case with her, but it has to be a reason why you only go after some people and not others. There are a whole lot of people out there doing some wicked, underhanded stuff that you don't say anything about, but you got something to say about guys like Jalen Rose if he was to do something, and Udoka from the Celtics, and a couple other players you went after. And if you're going to do that, fine. Just make sure you do it both ways. Meanwhile, Rose, he's going to say what he's going to say. He's been a pretty good journalist since he left the basketball court, and I don't have much to say about it. But it looks like to me that somebody is after Rose. So if it was me, I'd be looking to go somewhere else if I was Rose. But that's strictly up to him. But again, Andrews, take that number 13 and slap it on you because you're bad luck. And eventually, somebody's going to reverse the tide on you, and you're going to be one that gets run over. Sports for Real.